Hi, this is Danica and I build WordPress membership sites. And in this video, we're gonna create the first automations that we need to generate access for your members using the integration with Memberium and ActiveCampaign. So in this example, I think what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna show you how I will set up this 7-day free trial course A access. And we're gonna need to go to log into your ActiveCampaign account. An example here, I'm just going to search for levels just to make sure. This one. Okay. So enable for members to get access to your website is we need to generate their access using the Memberium's HTTP post functionality. So if you go to your Memberium in your WordPress sites and then go to settings, in here under webhooks, I'm just going to move myself on the other side. In here in the webhooks, you have some automation or webhook links that you could use to generate access. The first one is the password generator, and then the next one is the update contact webhook. What I do is I always do this combination whenever applying a password and then changing some tags of members. I also always like to do update contact. I always run this just to make sure. What it does is it's telling, like example, once this runs in ActiveCampaign, it will tell to your website or WordPress site that, hey, this member's details get updated. I'm just going to make sure we are synchronized. So basically that's what it's doing. So it's updating the details of your members in your WordPress site, making sure it is exactly the same for what they have in the ActiveCampaign. So again, let's do this setup. So let's go to automation and we're going to build our first campaign. I'm gonna use to the term campaign and keep. We're gonna build our first automation. So here, I'm gonna move myself. Not sure, maybe it's the top. Okay, so we're gonna do create an automation, and then here we're gonna do start from scratch, and then continue. I'm gonna name this password generator. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna name this. Most of the time, I always label an automation based on what integration it is set up with. So, example, Memberium password generator. And then what I do here is I want to apply a tag. I'm gonna do a trigger tag. So in here, trigger automation password generator. After that, I want to make sure I clean the tags. So I will do a remove tag. Okay. Let me just check. Okay, I need to actually That's here. So trigger automation password generator and add tag. We're gonna call that again in here. Make sure it's linked. And then we're gonna remove the tag. Okay, I'm just gonna do a refresh just to make sure the line is updated. Okay, so this is gonna be our trigger, and then of course we always clean the trigger tag. After that, we are gonna copy this. So this one, password generator example. Now, if you check this in Memberium's documentation, there's some parameters that you could use. Overwrite yes. So what I do is in ActiveCampaign, since their password is like not saved, sometimes I use this overwrite yes, depending on the situation. But what it does is whenever this run, if this is included in your parameter, whenever this is applied to your member, their password is generated again with a new one. So the note here is Memberium won't generate a password if the user already exists in WordPress. That's the default one. If you're facing if you're facing the problem of password not generating, then you might want to check if the same user exists in WordPress. If you still want to generate password for such user who exists in WordPress, then we suggest you create a new automation and add overwrite yes at the end of the password webhook. So as mentioned, once the member has logged in to your website at least one time, their password that was stored in ActiveCampaign will be cleared. So if you're having problem like members are complaining that they're not getting your password or your email is empty or something like that, you may want to try creating a specific automation with this override yes. But by default, you don't need that if you're not facing any problem. So in here, what I'm going to do is I'm going to run that. I'm just going to copy this. I'm going to do webhook and then save. And then we're not going to do update contact because this automation specifically will just generate the password. But what I want to do is I want to have a tag that says password generated. And then I'm going to apply that here. Just an indicator. And then of course I'm going to, after that, I'm going to end this automation. So we trigger this via this tag. We remove the trigger tag. We generate the password. And then we apply password generated tag. I'm going to save this one and I'm going to activate this. So if I go to my automation, I now have the Memberium password in here. I'm just going to remove this other one since I had that set up earlier. So we have this now. The next automation that we need is for applying the membership level and sending the login credentials. So we're gonna create a new one, but before that, I'm going to go here under contacts and then manage tags. I'm going to do level. Sorry. I'm gonna create two membership. Trigger tags. So trigger automation give access. And then I'm gonna do another one. This time it's remove access. So we have two automation trigger. So we have give access and remove access, and that's for the membership level 7-day free trial for course A. So we'll go back to the automation. We're gonna create a new one. This time we're gonna still do something from scratch. We're gonna name this, the trigger is gonna be that give access. Okay. I'm also gonna name this Memberium give access membership level 7-day free trial course A. So again, as long as you organize your naming with some label indicator in it, that should be helpful. But you could also actually tag an automation, and I'm gonna show that to you later. But for this one, I'm just gonna do it that way. And of course, we always remove trigger tag. So this is the automation that we're gonna trigger, or we want to run when we're trying to give access for the 7-day free trial course A level. So once the contact enters this automation, what we want to do first is we want to start the automation for password generator. And in here, we could do a wait. And then I'm going to do condition, contact, tags, exist, password generated. So once that tag exists, we want to then give access. In here, I'm gonna do apply tag. So contacts, apply tag, and then we're gonna call that membership level. Well, before that, we also want to I forgot to remove the tag. Okay, so we're gonna remove all of the payment failure just to make sure, and then that's the time we're gonna apply the actual membership tag. Okay, so we remove here the cancellation, payment failure, suspension. After that, we apply the tag. Next is we will then send an email. So we want to send an email. Create login credentials. I'm just going to use a very simple format. Want the plain one. Maybe just this one. And then I'm gonna do hi, first name, something like that. And then I'm just gonna clear this. What's important, and again, you can add whatever content you need your members to take a note. But what I'm gonna do here is, of course, first name. So hi, first name, and then login URL, username, password. Login URL, I'm going to create this URL later, so I'm just gonna put the login on the link. Username is the email. Password is that field that we created. I'm gonna increase the size of this one. And let's just check Memberium ActiveCampaign. Okay, here. So if you want to have an auto login link for your members, so you need to follow this in the settings. So we go to Memberium settings, and then we go to login tab, and then here there's an auto login. There's that one. Okay, this should be on, and then after that, we will then have a link. So I think it's gonna be, I think it's in the webhook, auto login, this one. So we're gonna copy that and paste that here. Click here. I'm just gonna make it all caps. Click here to auto log in. Log in. And then paste that here. So what it's gonna do is it's gonna pass the subscriber's ID and then the email. Now since I have a login page later, I may need to adjust this, but I'm just gonna leave that default for now. And I'm gonna make this bold. Okay. I think that's good for now. I'm just gonna remove this. Yes. and then I'm gonna save and exit. Save. Okay, and let's just check. So we add the member in this automation, we generate the password, we wait for the password to be generated, and then we remove the cancellation, suspension, payment failure tag, we apply the membership level, we send the login credentials. Another way of doing this part is I've also tried wait for contact this field not blank. Okay, just to make sure. So if it's blank, it's not gonna go through. So that's gonna be an indicator that there's a problem. Okay. So I think this is good. And then what I'm gonna do here is I'm gonna have up to 5. I could do 3 minutes. Oops, it should be 5. Yep, should be 5. So we're gonna wait for up to 5 minutes, and then if else, if contact is blank, so okay, it should be not blank. Okay, and then okay. So what I'm trying to do here is I want to make sure I get notified when the password is not generated properly. So example here. So we do all the necessary things here. We wait for this, enter, and then after that, we wait for the password number field to be not blank. We have up to 5 minutes for that. Then after that, it's gonna go through this decision. Does the contact match the following condition? Memberium temp password is not blank. If it's not blank, then it goes to yes. Yes, it's not blank, so we do all the necessary stuff here. If it's blank, then maybe you want to get some notification for your end that, like an email that, hey, password generator failed, and you may want to check that. So that's another thing that you can do. I'm not gonna set that up for now. I'm just gonna end this automation. Another thing is you could also end this automation once the member has logged in. So you could actually run some automation when a member logged into your website, which we will do in another video. I'm gonna show that to you. I'm gonna activate this just to test. I think it's time for us to test this now. So if we go to the automations, we have two. We have the password generator and we have the membership level give access. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to create a contact Danica Louie, and then I'm gonna do mem1, and then 5, 6, 7, and then add. I'm going to add a tag. Give access. Apply. And the automation is started. Now, while that is working on its thing, I'm gonna go back to the automation, which is I'm just gonna open a new tab here, and we will create our remove access. So copy, create, remove. We're gonna do the trigger remove. We're gonna name this Memberium remove access. And then we will remove the trigger. Okay. After we remove the trigger, we're then gonna remove the membership tag, which is, if we type in level, we should see the list. I'm gonna remove that, and we will apply suspension. Another thing that you could do is, just to keep your account clean, is you could also remove the other tags like cancellations and payment failure, because in my remove access here, I just want to keep this as an indicator that they were an old member, but now we have removed their access. So we still have that history that they were a member and when that was removed. So I think after this, now when this happened, whenever we remove access, we also want to make sure that the WordPress site knows that, hey, we have removed access to your member, just making sure that we are synchronized. And that's the time that we're going to use the update contact webhook. That's very important. So I'm going to copy this and in here, to have like every webhook in one place, I have this practice where I create its own automation, just so like later it's much easier to have it updated in one place rather than scattered around. Because sometimes when you have like a big membership, you're for sure gonna have several automations. So having this organized properly at the beginning is super important. So instead of just adding my update here in my remove access, update contact webhook, I'm gonna create a new automation. And in here, what I'm gonna do is I'm going to Memberium update contact record. That should be fine. And then I'm just gonna copy the webhook, paste that, just double check, paste that here. Okay. And then I know that you could start an automation by just doing this and start automation, but maybe sometimes it's gonna be handy to trigger automation via tags. That's why I always attach something here, or else a web form, so you could decide. So in my case, I'm just gonna also go to my contacts here and go to my tags. And I'm gonna copy this and create a new one. This time it's gonna be update contact record. Okay, and I'm gonna use that as my trigger. Then of course, we always clean our record. And then we end an automation properly. Activate it. So the update contact record is ready. And in our remove access, we're just gonna call that automation. Update. Oops. I think I need to refresh. Maybe it hasn't recognized that there's an automation that I created. So I'm gonna start. Okay. Save. And then end this automation. Activate. So now we have this remove access, and we are making sure that WordPress will know that this access has been removed once the contact goes through this automation. So let's go back to our automation list. And in here, whenever the great thing about this setup is whenever you need to do a password generator, all you need to do is just to call this. Example, in my other client's case, they have like around 10 membership level. So you don't want to have this webhook scatter around, because maybe later on you need to reset your key. And when you need to reset your key, you need to remember where did you use that webhook if you scatter it around in your different automations. So to make sure it's in one place, you should create a dedicated automation that will handle the password generator for your members. The same thing for your web update contact record. You need to have that in one place. I know that this can be just in one automation, that this steps that I did and showed you will save you a lot of time later. So I hope you follow that. And of course, if you have any question, comment it down below, and I'll do my best to guide you and answer that for you. So we have this, and as I noted earlier, rather than having this long name, you could also label it, because if you label it, you could do a filter. So example, rather than putting everything in a very long format, you can just have a label for, let's just say, Memberium, and maybe you wanna use that. Oops. Memberium. And now it's in there. And if you sign that, then it's gonna be attached and will be available here to filter later. This is gonna be very handy, especially if you have like, let's just say around 50 automations that going around different funnels. Having it labeled and named properly will really help you to identify where or which automation you need to work on later, especially if you are adding more courses or levels for your membership sites. So always name it properly from the very beginning. Okay, now let's go back to our contact that we tested earlier, just to see if our password generator worked. Okay. So in here, it says automation password generator is 100%. There's also the give access, also 100%. We have the password generator tag. We have the membership level. And let's check if the password is generated as well, which is good. So we have what we need. I'm gonna check my email if I received what I was looking for, the email login. So I'm just gonna open here and we just check. Okay. Okay, so I checked and I did not get the email. So we're gonna check what's happened since my ActiveCampaign account is new. I think I forgot to set up something. So it says your domain needs to be verified. Okay, so I'm gonna send verification email, and I will wait for that. Okay, verify. Let's see what it's gonna ask. Okay, I just got a link, email to the link. I clicked that and it says it's verified now. So next is please provide a physical mailing address. Okay, so I'm gonna just add my address here. Okay, so I just set my address and everything seems look fine now. So let's try to do that again. Save and accept. I'm gonna try to send. I'm just gonna try to run a new contact just to make sure. So I'm gonna create a new one. So mem2. This time we're gonna trigger that tag again. Give access, apply. Let's check. Okay. This should be quick. I'm just gonna pause for a few seconds. So the password has been generated. We're just waiting for the login email and the membership level to be applied. It's still in the 10%. So let's wait for that. Okay, so it says the membership level has been applied. And I'm gonna check my email if I receive my login. Okay, so I finally received my login email and let me show you how it looks. It's here. So I have the login URL. I have the username and the password. Click here to auto login. I'm gonna discuss more about the auto login later. So I'm not gonna test that right now, but what I'm gonna do is I'm going to open an incognito because I haven't set up that login page yet. I just added it in the email ready, having it ready. So we're gonna log in to the default WordPress login for now to test this. And we're gonna copy and then paste the password. Access denied. No active membership. Okay, that's strange. I will check why. We have here membership level course A. Okay. I will check the memberships. So this is the contact that I'm trying to log in. So far it looks fine. For sure it did not recognize that login that I tried because it's still in here. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna try to update this record because I checked in the WordPress site and it's true that there is no membership level attached. Now, if you remember in our previous video, I did make sure I want to have membership for the login. So let's just check. Require membership settings allows yes or no. When set to yes, the user must be qualified, must have a qualifying membership tag in order to log in. If set to no, any user may log in regardless whether they have active membership. This does not limit the need of contact record to exist in ActiveCampaign. It only eliminates the need for the contact to have a valid memberships in order to log in. This can be useful to allow members with inactive membership to log in to buy additional access. Update payment information. Okay, so after I have applied the update contact record, it did assign the membership level right away. So let's just try it again. See if it's gonna work this time. Okay, it works. So I missed that part is to also attach the update contact record. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna run the update. So after we apply the membership level, I'm also just gonna make sure that I start the update contact record, which I did in the remove access, but it's strange that I missed that in here. Okay, and that should do it. So if we revisit our contact record in ActiveCampaign, which is this one, if we refresh this now, you'll see that the password field is now blank. It's blank. And again, for security purpose, that's the reason. So when your member logins, I highly suggest you have a system in place where you encourage them to set their password with password that's something that they could easily remember, or else have some instruction for how to like save their password. Just to make sure. Though they have a copy in the email, but we get lots of emails, all of us. I'm sure there's a chance that they will forget that email. So having it saved in a password vault or something will be handy. So we're now logged in as a member, and in the next video, I'm gonna show you how I'm gonna set up this. We're gonna start setting up the website. We're gonna start setting up course A, and I'm gonna show that to you. And yep, I'll see you in the next video. Again, if you have any question, this is a bit long video. So if you have any question, feel free to comment that down below, and I will do my best to answer your questions. Thank you.